Cosmic Cat here, Cosmic Cat Tarot, Cosmic Cat Tales, and Cosmic Cat Reiki. We're doing a little bit of a backyard series. Today it's a very special day. It is the super new moon. We had the solar eclipse today. I've been learning to scry, and so I have accumulated 5 days worth of information, and I'm learning as I go. I'm open to taking any kind of tips or suggestions that you have on this. Also, if you are also new at scrying, one thing that I've already learned is record yourself while you're scrying so that you don't have to interrupt by writing things down. It's kind of like when you get a lot of downloads when you're meditating, and if you don't write it down in the moment, it passes by and you might miss it, which has definitely happened. So that happened the first time I scried. So the second time I knew to record voice memos. I hope you can still hear me amongst everything. The wind is really crazy today, but I'm really guided. I've been guided to do this. I've been guided a long time to try scrying, and I barely attempted to at one point last year and then stopped. So I started to work with it again because it also kept coming up in my feed. And so I know that's another way that our guides try to drop those little hints and little breadcrumbs for us to come on, you can get there. Come on. Because I imagine I'm not the only person on a spiritual path that hasn't always jumped on what my guides, what our guides or archangels or source, universe, whatever has recommended us do. There's sometimes hesitation, there's pullback that we feel. So just some other things is like sharing what you're supposed to share in the moment. I'm terrible with time management. Give me a clock emoji if that falls into play with you too. But so the very first day that I did scry, I did not record it. There was a lot of messages, and I did do a birthday reading right after that, and I only shared a couple of things. But anyway, one thing that happened that I took a picture of was every day I do an angel number reading, a short video. So if you want to go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like the video, check some of them out. They're very informative and helpful, especially if you're on the go and you just want to get a little information, or if you constantly are seeing the same number or a lot of variation of numbers, but you don't know what they mean and you want to know. It's a great way to also learn what the message is, what's going on. You can think about it at the time. So along with the scrying messages I'm going to share with this on the new moon, in my beautiful backyard, surrounded by all these lovely nature sounds, and we have trees everywhere. I can touch a tree on both sides. I know you can't really see this tree. I can't hardly reach that tree, but I have a tree right here by me that you're unable to see, and maybe I'll get better with that too. But thank you all for joining me and being here. So I'm going to drum a little bit just to soothe and feel the vibration. It's been a minute since I drummed, so I'd been feeling that, and normally I will bring the drum out when I'm outside doing any kind of readings. But what came up the first day of scrying was these 4 cards fell out. Initially, it's only one that I'm looking for, but 4 cards fell out immediately after I was doing the scrying. And it was 1818, which is all about willpower and achievements and success, striving forward, prosperity, go-getters, courage, luck. So I'm going to hold these up for you because so you can see them. And what's really interesting about these cards, one of the other interesting parts, so see how it goes to willpower, then good times, then high vibes, then slow down. And what it kind of felt like to me is like, if you sit back, you can read them, look at them, but if you sit back and look at these 4 cards, because this is a clear message, definitely a message, I was looking back at it as like, okay, this is showing that there are cycles in our life and that we will go through cycles in our life. And so when we're at that really, really high point of our life, that's great, but it's good to also to remember to come back down. Same as when we are at the very low point. It's good to remember that we are not going to be staying there forever and to come back up. It's like the whole level plane and balance of ourself, right? And balancing our lives. And that it's important to have good times, high vibrations, and willpower. And it's also important to slow down and have this balance. And I feel like it being on the end is like an affirmation of knowing that it's important for us to love all of ourselves as an individual. So it's important for us to love our really, really happy, go-getter, high time, willpower self that we have, the strong, independent soul that we are, all of the things that we've been able to accomplish in our life, our accomplishments, I believe that's on here somewhere, achievements. And at the same time, it's extremely also important for us to also go back in at times, right? So that we can recollect, rejuvenate, gain some more understanding, and nurture ourselves also so that we can maintain, because this is almost like a up and a down. But it's also kind of very much goes with the eclipse and a new moon. I mean, eclipses are still about kind of the purging and the cleansing and reaching the Divine Mother. And it's also, but new moons are also are about new beginnings and about planting those seeds of intention, planting actual really physical seeds in your garden beds, you know, for all you gardenists and herbalists out there. So this came out, I took a picture of it because I wanted to share it for everyone. Now what was interesting was today, just now, before I started recording, I went to pull these cards out, and these cards have been shuffled, okay? These 3 were on top of the deck. And this one I had to dig for, and it was in the middle. In the middle, smack dab in the middle, which is another affirmation that balance is key. And that when we allow ourselves to slow down is when we find the answers to the questions we're seeking. When we allow ourselves that time to be still to hear the birds chirping, to feel the wind, to hear the wind rustle the leaves and the trees and blow, to feel Mother Earth and her beauty, like the beautiful moss that grows everywhere. You know, this is a living organism, a living thing, you know. It's like right here. It's everywhere in this world. And it also grows in the shadows. Moss isn't really something, it likes just a little bit of sun. You know, maybe some moss does like a lot of sun, but most of the time it's like they like the shade. So just remember to embrace your shade, just like you embrace your light, okay? But then when you take the willpower out first. So this is also telling me, because I had to dig for it, and because these were already, that was just a bee that just flew by. It's the first bee I've seen this season, so it's beautiful. And also they're very cleansing in their spirit, so they help us all heal our wounds. And they heal things within us that may not even be ours. Okay, so I feel like also reaching for this, like me going in the deck and digging for it, there's something about you persevering, and that's been coming up a lot lately, is being determined, being a go-getter, getting out there, not to give up, and also to remember to stay balanced and focused, okay? So yeah, the willpower, find your willpower. That's what, like, I felt like it was saying. Also, another message is, are you finding your willpower? Do you have your willpower? Are you seeing 18s a lot? Are you feeling the willpower? Is there something within you? Have you had like a moment of truth with yourself, or with guides, or communication, or dreams, or something of where you just felt you followed your intuition, your inner gut? That's willpower, okay? So this could be something of like, you already have it. You already have the willpower. It's already within you. Or it's like, I wonder, you know, I'm going to hide this one in the deck. The Spirit's like, I'm going to hide this one. And then you're going to go seek and find it. And this is going to show whether you're determined or not to find your willpower, or if you have what it takes to be the go-getter and to get your willpower. Okay? Another message that could be for some of you out there, and that is, what's in common with all three of these that came out? They all have 4s in them. So if 4s are something, and it's 13:44 on the time right now. Yeah, so these are all like 4s. And you notice it's like there's good times, there are high vibes, and then it's a slow down process. This is also just like a reminder to cleanse yourself and your energy after you are in a crowded room, or an event, or an area. No matter how profound it was, you can still hold on to and hang on to what you receive as far as messages at a ceremony. If you're at a ceremony, it's one of the messages that I'm guided to share with you, is to have try to have some balance in your life of fun and of spirituality for yourself and your inner self. Detachment is coming up again. Learning about attachments and codependency and detachments and boundaries, learning how to balance your life and embrace your shadow side, being out in nature, being surrounded by, making sure that your environment is the environment that you desire, because it is our choice whether we believe it or not. We do have the free will the majority of us, we do still fortunately have free will to make our own decisions of who we have around us. Like, we're not in a cage, being kept up captive, or, you know, like the devil card I was thinking of just now, where it's like you have the cuffs on, but they're loose. You can easily break yourself free from the bondage, but you're choosing to stay there. So it's a choice. That's just something to think about. And we're gonna stop there for this first video, and the next videos I'm gonna really make a lot shorter, because well, we all have other things to do, don't we? Cosmic Cat signing off. Meow. Be sure that you do share any comments below that you have, advice about the videos or the scrying. And also, if you'd like to share your experience or story, or where you're at on your path, if you're on one, if you were on one and got out, or why you decided to change, or if Kundalini hit you immediately and you're like, what's going on here? If you just all of a sudden came across something and it's stayed with you, share, and let me know in the comments below. Also, if there's anything that I could meditate or send some positive energy toward for you, be sure to drop that below in the comments too, okay? Have a cosmic day and tonight. Meow.